Hi, in this video I will talk about the Cave Surah 28 and how it is actually related to the three stories mentioned in the Cave Surah. And let's read it. You shall force yourself to be with those who worship their Lord day and night, seeking Him alone. Do not turn your eyes away from them, seeking the vanities of this world. Nor shall you obey one whose heart were rendered oblivious to our message. One who pursues his own desires and whose priorities are confused. It is very important verse. So priorities are confused because they do not believe this. They do not actually believe afterlife, and their priorities, they're not sure about their priorities because they don't have any strict any goal. So some disbelievers joke with believers saying that, oh, you're gaining number of to go to heaven, like a better heaven, but in fact, so alternatively they have nothing. They have no number, no afterlife, no dream, nothing. They cannot be happy at all. So I will explain why this is related to three stories mentioned in the surah. So first of all, in the first story, we see that there are believers. There are believers together, and God guides them, the seven sleepers. And so we know that they are in the dwellers of the cave, and so let's see the exact verses. And when the youths took refuge in the cave, they said, "Our Lord, show us." So they all say, "Our Lord, show us with mercy and bless our affairs with your guidance." So, and this is the story one. In the story two, we see that Moses is meeting with a person who know about the future, who can predict futures very precisely, and doing things according to the precise future inspired by the God. And interestingly, we see that in Moses' story, Moses does this many times too. Interestingly, Moses' mom also does this. Interestingly, so Moses, so his mom leave his son in the just a baby and then in the river. Normally you don't do this. The baby will die. And then interestingly, Moses' story is also actually depending on such incidents that Moses' mom got inspiration from God. so so Moses is being with this person, and he cannot stand to be with him, and he is not familiar with his techniques, and he cannot understand it. And he's one of the prophets that will receive the message, and and the other person is actually doing things more like instinctively, and it explains here in this story. So it shows that in this story also God says that you should be with believers. So Moses is waiting with believers. And the latest we see that, so in the final story we see that Zulkarnain, story of Zulkarnain, we granted him authority on earth, and then he pursued one way. When he reached the far west, he found the sun setting in a vast ocean, and found people there. We said, "Oh, Zulkarnain, you can rule as you wish, either punish or be kind to them." He said, "As for those who transgress, we will punish them. When they return to their Lord, he will commit them to more retribution. As for those who believe and lead a righteous life, they receive a good reward. We will treat them kindly." Then he pursued another way. When he reached the far east, he found the sun rising on people who had nothing to shelter from it. Naturally, we were fully aware of everything he found out. He then pursued another way. He found people whose language was barely understandable. They said, "Oh, Zulkarnain, Gog and Magog are corruptors of the earth. Can you fail to create a barrier?" So we are coming back to the verse 18. So I think it's 18. Sorry, not 18. So you should be with believers. So he is actually Zulkarnain is also trying to be with believers and fighting against disbelievers that that cause corruption and shed blood on earth. So, and also the final message, we see that do those who disbelieve think that they can get away with setting up my servants as gods beside me. We have prepared for the disbelievers hell as an eternal abode. So we see that people worship the Moses friend and they ask something from Moses friend. So it's like even an atheist read it and God predicts that people will worship Moses' friend, then they would think like how this can happen, how God uh, can precisely tell that people will do this. And also people probably go to pray and ask something from those dwellers of the cave. So they wish something. They don't ask it from God, they ask from the cave or from the some magical objects, and it is indeed not suitable to Quran. So that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching this video and hope to see you in the next video.